From the John DeVito Broadcast Center, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another broadcast of Paranormal Radio with Bob Tricek on the Windy City Hometown Entertainment Network. So sit back and enjoy Paranormal Radio. And here is now the king of Paranormal Radio, Mr. Bob Tricek.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much. It's always a joy. Thank you very much for allowing me to come here once a month to do these shows. Just an absolute joy for me to do this. Enjoy it with all my heart. It's one of those things you do that's like a labor of love. That's how this is for me. Just wanted to announce a couple of things. First off, and I just hope that everyone was out today and got to enjoy a little bit of the beautiful autumn day. It was just absolutely gorgeous. What a blue sky, and some of the leaves are starting to change, and nice temperature, and really just a gorgeous autumn day there. Coming up into Halloween season here and that, and hope everyone at least got to go out and turn their face to the sky and soak in just a little bit of the sunshine there. Thank you to all the people from the Bridgeview Park District. Thank you very much for the tour Saturday. We had a nice group of folks there, had about 21 people, and we had a real nice tour, very nice folks, a good tour, very nice. And a lot of times when you're giving the tour, the success of the tour depends on some of the people that you have on it. And they were a very nice group of people, very nice, very much interested in the locations and interested in the paranormal. And thank you very much for that. And Kylie O'Connell at the Park District for sponsoring that. Kylie was actually going to pop on the show tonight, but then I guess something came up. She's very busy doing all sorts of things, as we all are now for the Halloween season. That's how it goes. Graveside Paranormal with Neil Gibbons and Steve Linewormer. That if you go up on the Graveside site, they've got a bunch of tours they're running for this season here. They're doing a Bachelors Grove tour. They're doing a nightlife tour, which is very popular, and they'll run some of the equipment and demonstrate that to you and that. So go up on their site, look at some of their things. Also to a Chinatown tour, which I'm kind of doing in cooperation with. I don't know how many people we have signed up for that, but a Chinatown tour, which is something a little different. And so check out the Graveside Paranormal website, look on that, and see if there's something there that would appeal to you, and sign up for one of their nice tours. Okay, I am going to be talking tomorrow night. I don't know if anyone's going to hear this broadcast between now and tomorrow night, over at the Orland Park Library. Tomorrow I will be there talking about H.H. Holmes and the White City, and the Devil in the White... Well, not the Devil in the White City, but just about H.H. Holmes, some of the things about him. Tough man to research. A lot of interesting facts about him and stuff out there. A lot of misinformation given. It's hard to know with him sometimes what's true and what's not true. So I'll be doing that this week. And then the weekend, I'll be taking a group from the Elsip Park District. And we'll be going to Geneva, Illinois. And doing a little tour over there and stopping and having some lunch and that. And then they get some time to shop on their own and look around Geneva and that. So different things going on. I'll be talking about vampires over at the Justice Library on October 17th. Talking about that right over there in Resurrection Mary Country. And on the 22nd, I should say, of October, I'm going to be giving a program at the Elsip Public Library. So I'm kind of getting around with that and doing some things in that. And then also, too, a big shout-out to the folks at Midnight Terror. They run the haunted house there at Midnight Terror right across from, I always say it's across from Holy Sepulchre, but it's actually not across from Holy Sepulchre Cemetery. I think it's across from Holy Cross Cemetery. Because there's like 13 cemeteries right there in that area. I live right over there in that. And they've been very nice. I've been doing some palm readings and things with them and that. And they're just a nice bunch of people. Then they put on a real good show for you. So if you want to go stop over there and visit the haunted house and have a good time with that, please stop by. They're at 5520 West 111th Street. Go ahead and feel free to do so. Business. I have Mr. Pete Crapia on.
Hey.
Pete is no stranger to this show. Pete comes on just about any time you ask him to come on. He likes doing it, which is wonderful. And he's always got something interesting to say. I like having Pete on.
I'm kind of tired tonight, so we'll
yeah, I
see
am
what
too.
happens.
Same thing with me. I'm the same thing, Pete. Don't feel bad. I'm a little dozy myself. Yeah, because it's been kind of a busy season. Last night I didn't get in the house until about 11:30. So, and then by the time you get to bed,
that Bachelors Grove visit of mine, first weekend all year.
Yes, this weekend when I brought the group out over Saturday, we were expecting to see you, and I told people you might see Pete Crapia out there, who's kind of an expert on Bachelors Grove Cemetery, but you weren't there, and that's unusual for you because you're always over there.
Always.
Yeah. So anyway, welcome back to Paranormal Radio, Pete. Nice to have you back on again.
It's good to be on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, what have you got to say for yourself?
I don't know. What topic is going to go on tonight?
What do you want to talk about? What I want to mention, too, is I did post something about the Facebook Live They were going to do Facebook Live.
Yeah,
but something
I didn't really
with
bring everything today.
So that didn't work out. So, yeah, just in case you're wondering about that didn't quite work out with the Facebook Live.
I'm just seeing if the stream ends when I'm doing this with the phone. But
okay.
no, I didn't get to bring my stuff, patch it in, let people chat and do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, then we can get people
we'll work something out in the future.
Do that. Yeah, we'll do that. It'd be nice to get some calls from people and people's responses. And
that'd be fun, too.
To what we're talking about. Yeah, it'd be good. Yeah.
Phone calls would be interesting.
Oh, yeah. One time
Hecklers.
I did that. It's the whole time I've been doing the show. One time I did have a guest that phoned in, Mr. Rick Hale. Nice gentleman, real nice.
That you mean phone in interview?
He phoned in.
I thought you meant like phone in like guests. Or,
no, he phoned in for the
questions.
interview.
I mean, from the audience.
I had folks here, and then he phoned in, and so he kind of joined in with us, which was kind of nice. It was a little difficult because we're not really set up for that here, but it worked out all right. Yeah.
Well, you can do it now with cell phones. Easy enough,
of course, assuming you have a cell phone, which I don't. Yeah. So I'm still back in the 19th century, So
is that why you're not answering my texts?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't answer texts because I don't have a phone to.
Wow,
text.
It's not telling me that. It doesn't bounce back or tell me anything.
Yeah.
It just goes into a dark black hole, huh?
Yeah.
That's nice.
So, what in the heck is going on with you these days, Pete?
What is going on with me? Behind the scenes, I've been doing a lot of radio experiments at the Grove with the paranormal, that kind of stuff.
I was going to ask you.
So I've been doing a lot less of the whole YouTube-y thing and talking, and I'm sure people have noticed, like, what the hell's going on? Why isn't he posting anything or something like that? I'm just doing a lot of side experiments. Trying to understand how some of it works from a physics point of view. I mean, while you got your group of people out there thinking everything's hogwash, here I am, and they're also thinking that I'm not even doing anything out there. Like, I'm just standing with my thumb up my butt, walking around the cemetery, when, like, I'm deep in the stuff. I got stuff going on around me, other people have stuff going around them, and I'm just trying to understand some of it, and eventually I kind of want to open up about it.
Okay.
I can't like say everything right now. Some
I was just going to ask you, what
people,
kind of stuff are you talking about?
I call it the game. I don't know if you remember what the whole thing where I shouldn't do this right now.
Okay.
I shouldn't do it on the broadcast. But there was based on my interactions out there, based on what's been going on with me all these years, I tried to get other more serious investigators involved. And people that would like throw money at things and actually start reading scientific papers. People that actually have a deeper interest, not just hey, I'm gonna have a conference, write a book, and then and that's all they do kind of thing. These people are really gung ho. They really want to understand some stuff. So I've reached out to them, and we'll see what happens. It's kind of like a blind study communication thing going on with Bachelors Grove, and in the end, if anything turns out, I'm going to let everybody know about it. It's so blind that I don't even know all the details. They don't know all the details. It's such a weird blind study experiment that once you get certain paranormal results, the way that you can compare it, it should blow the minds of the whole group because nobody can hoax the other person is how it's worked out.
I get you. So basically what you're kind of heading to with this is like definite proof.
Well, however you want to define proof.
There is things going on there. There is stuff and definite proof of different things happening in the Grove. And
I did it mainly for
done scientifically.
Maybe a little bit of proof. I don't need the so-called proof. I want to really understand how it works. I mean, I'm starting to understand who I'm dealing with. From I don't want to even use the word spiritual, but I know who I'm dealing with to some degree. But I want to get other people on the same level and let them go through the weird crap in a way that I'm going through it. And so that they could step back and go, holy, there's something going on here. That kind of proof I want to give to them.
Yeah.
But there's this game that I play behind the scenes that it's really educational, the way that I interact with this intelligence out at the Grove. And I want to keep this game going. And then there's that other part of me who just wants to give up.
Well, no,
we were talking about that earlier, too.
Yeah, no. I think, before the show started, we were talking, and Pete says, I'm just getting a little tired of things. And as you know,
I'm getting tired of the frauds and the phonies.
Oh, hey, join the club.
It's so exhausting.
Join the club.
You can't get anybody serious involved.
But you know what, Pete?
People that are
ungenuine about it, or whatever, you just, you're friendly with them, hello and goodbye, that type of thing like that. And you kind of find people that you feel are more
but
like you.
Does everything have to be so purely entertainment value only?
No, it doesn't. But you know what? The way I look at it is, if you're doing it like all right, say you're like me. Now I brought a group through Saturday. It was a tour, and of course this is not a serious.
And those are going to be for purely entertainment purposes.
Some people have never been there for many years. Some people have never been there, and if this sparks someone's interest in it, and they want to go further, and they want to, that's it. Yeah. I look at it as a positive thing. Yeah.
But I've always avoided like a team thing, like a team effort.
Too. Yeah,
because you know how these groups go.
Yes,
especially in the paranormal community, they always break down. There's all this drama, there's all this crap. There's no progress. Yeah. So I tried a different way, and it seemed to work out, and we were able to pull together different people. Just you being out there makes you a part of the collective, so to speak. Whether you're out there to be a joke and a jerk, or you're there to actually investigate something, you're still part of that collective. And there's a point to this. I'm kind of losing my mind here. But I prefer that kind of group. It's like you come and go. It's casual. And if I can facilitate and collect that information and present it to the public, I will be, I guess, designate maybe be that person. I will help facilitate that.
You don't like a formal,
but I don't want to be
a name on it, and I've got to be there for meetings, and I've got to be there.
I'm not the real manager. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just facilitating communication with the public and how they're going through the community. You want to look up history, that's great. You want to go there and go through an experience, and you want to document it or whatever, and you want to report on it, send it my way, and I'll report on it. Unless, of course, you're trying for an outright hoark, then I'll just probably go quiet with it.
I come into some criticism with groups going to the Grove and bringing people through. And for instance, they're doing a tour. And I'm just going to bring a group through the Grove, and they bring up the boxes and the voice recordings and all this.
Yeah, the ghost box
and they run
crap.
Them, and they run them. And I'm thinking to myself, well, you're only going to be there for a short stop, maybe a 15 or 20-minute stop or whatever like that. And do you really think you're going to, and it might be kind of, and then what you're finding is they're saying, oh, yes, this came up on it, that came up on it, this came up on it. And I think part of it is they really want it to, so they kind of make it do it.
I think the ghost box aspect is hurting. I actually think it's damaging.
I'm kind of agreeing with you on that. I really do. Yeah.
It's it makes me actually almost want to walk away from the people that use them.
Well,
especially if you were only in there for a couple weeks. Let's say you had no real paranormal experience in your life that you were aware of, and you just had this curiosity and you grabbed the box. Yeah, I got no real faith that you're going to get anywhere with this subject anyway, so whatever you're going to do, and I'm just going to walk the other way. But if you could have been a guy who's been in the field for 20, 30 years, and you've been really serious about it, and suddenly after 20, 30 years, all you're using is a ghost box, I mean, that is not only just depressing.
Well, there are some mediums that use the ghost box, and my feeling is, well, wait a minute. If you're
Why do you need it if you're a medium?
Precisely.
And there are other better techniques as a medium. That if you're a medium, you want to communicate.
You don't need a ghost
something
box. Exactly.
To come over something else that's not ghost box related. There are other effective methods.
I've worked with a couple of people that are, in my opinion, which may not be the best expert opinion, that are very good mediums, that I feel are very good mediums. And I've done some things with them at that, and they're getting actual sentences, they're getting names, they're getting things that I can put together.
There's a good one in the past.
Like a word here or
do you remember Sarah Eastep? Does the name ring a bell?
Does not to me.
She was big in the EVP field. She formed an organization, went nationwide. Yeah. It was like the big American portion. Anyway, she passed away, and I ran into somebody who actually went to the Grove like a month or so ago. They were out there with Dale Kazmarik's group.
Okay.
Dale.
Ghost Research Society, yeah. Okay.
And whoever Dale was given a tour with, and one of the people happened to have a lot of the original cassette tapes of Sarah Eastep. And she was dedicated. I wish I could have met her. She's, one of the originals, of the EVP field, at least in more modern times.
Yes, okay.
And so she would have success. I don't know how much of real good quality success.
And what was she using?
She was using mostly radio technique.
Okay.
See, that their techniques are, at least she was using, maybe a single open frequency. I didn't like some of the frequencies she was using for interference purposes or whatever. But some of her results, the bottom line was her results and her dedication are intriguing.
Good. Okay.
The stuff that was coming over this radio band, it was obviously, after a while, you could tell it wasn't just some random stray radio signal. There were clear responses going on.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm looking for.
Of course, too, there's the other half of it where I think it's like, oh, how could you, man, this is horrible
hopefully
audio.
These things, hopefully some of the stuff that she got, some of this great info and that she got, hopefully
she did have her moments.
Somewhere.
She definitely had her moments. And that to me will qualify you as a somewhat of a medium, if you want to put it that way. You just have your other techniques. I'm sure whatever it is that she's communicating with can pick up on her thoughts, not just her voice. And and then they respond back, and then, there's no voices coming out of nowhere, anywhere, in the room. She's using a technological device to help bring these voices through, and it's progress. To me, that was progress.
Yeah.
And what I see going on today, which is strict ghost box, let's sweep the FM band with a whole bunch of garbage coming through it, and then we're going to say, oh, did you hear that?
I know.
Did you hear
That's yep.
Folks, will you turn the damn box off?
Yeah.
I just want to take a hammer to it.
I always like to see a lot of it is the ooh, ee, ooh, ting, ting, walla, walla, wing, wing, and they're saying, it said this,
there's
it
a
said
time
that,
and place for that kind of
I
technique.
Don't know. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
and then to
not
take it
with
even a
what
step
they're
further,
doing.
they play them backwards. And then they're playing backwards. You're going to hear a lot of things. I mean, I don't know. It's just a little funny about that. Not that I don't want to, come down on technology. And it's a great thing, and if it advances the field,
technology
and everything,
is useful.
Yeah,
but you as a person are still the key role in a lot of things.
I believe so too.
And if you cannot figure that out yet, then you need to put the box down and continue on doing whatever you need to do until you can figure out how you as a person. Number one, you need to get your shit together, and tune yourself up so that you are better in the field. So you're not relying on a box. Maybe you weren't born with it naturally. Maybe
not
some
relying
people
on
are.
Technology,
I was born naturally being a weird idiot. Just experiencing all this weird crap, and I had a lot of questions about all that weird crap. Some people, they will turn on TV and they go, "Oh, there's some weird crap on TV," and I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to go buy a ghost box, and I'm going to go seek the weird crap because it hasn't been happening to me. Well, if it hasn't been happening to you, put the box down first of all.
Yeah.
The boxes don't just. Oh, please don't.
I think a good deal is people wanting the instant success.
The instant gratification crap.
Yeah.
It actually turns me off. I tend to walk away from those kind of people. I tolerate it. I understand some of it.
Yeah.
But after a while, you start to get the gist of what that person's about, and I really feel like I'm wasting my time explaining a few things here and there about what's kind of going. Like if I'm at the Grove, is what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, when they'll ask, what do I think is going on out there, and I'll try to give them little hints. But then there's those people that just aren't going to get the hints because they're all about the ghost box and the crap they see on TV and the misperceptions of things.
And I see that's another thing too. It's sort of okay.
And maybe they're holy roller too. They got their Bible with them. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. I ain't getting through to them. You ain't going to get through. That's it.
The shows and stuff on TV is good because, all right, if it sparks interest for somebody, that's great and that's wonderful. And maybe that is giving them the little stepping stone to maybe get into this a little more seriously. But then by the same token, too, you don't want anybody trying to duplicate what they're seeing on TV happening because those are shows. And a lot of that is staged stuff just to, make the show, to enhance
I'm so
the show.
burned
so
out.
I just want to make that clear to people that, a lot of what you're seeing is not the real thing,
No, what you're seeing on TV is basically crap.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, to tell you what you might be seeing or hearing that it might be real.
Do you think there's any
so
of it
hard.
that's legitimate?
Well, yeah, there's stuff that's out there.
I mean, on TV.
It's so rare.
Yeah.
It is so freaking rare. Like, I just turned it off. I told you I burned my TV once, didn't I? Didn't I?
No, you didn't.
It was back, when was this? I
burned
think it was
it?
back in 2002. I got pictures of this. I actually got a video of it. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with the commercials. I'm done with the regular TV. I dragged this console TV up the stairs, out to the backyard, where we had our old pool where the sand was, and I doused it in gasoline and just lit a match.
Of course, this was after you bought a new one.
No.
So
it
you
was
had no TV.
Many years of just all I had were my computer monitors and doing my thing. Soldering up my projects, playing with electronics, doing that kind of stuff. And I was watching no real TV. You know what I mean? It might be 5-10 years before I'd hear about, there's a show. Maybe I should watch that. So I, download the pirated version, and no more commercials for me, that kind of stuff. You know what? That's a good idea. Everyone just burn your TV. Just stay away from the ghost. Oh man, I smell a cigarette. Who's smoking? I'm a smoker.
Yeah, I smell it too. Yeah.
Oh, that's torture.
That might be Oscar, that lives here in the house here at Oscar. He might have walked outside with a cigarette. Yeah.
We don't pause for commercial breaks anymore.
I don't think it's no, we don't. Yeah, because we're not on the other station anymore.
So
Yes, we don't
do
do it.
Anyway,
you quit smoking, huh?
No, I didn't quit.
You didn't quit? Oh.
No.
Well, do you need to take a cigarette break?
No, I'm okay.
Oh, okay.
I'll deal with it.
All right.
I can
I thought you quit.
No, not me.
Oh, okay.
No, I think that's what will do me in. That'll get me out of here. Just like I was telling you, no more reincarnation for me. I'm never coming back to Earth, man. Like, are you going to keep using that ghost box?
Do we have a choice?
I am not coming back to help you. Forget it.
Do we have that choice when we enter the next realm? Do we have a choice to say I want to come back, or
and if they give me
or
no choice, I told you I will start a cosmic war. I will be kicking and screaming. I will get whoever can join as a team to stop this insanity of reincarnating to Earth to help the dumb humans. No more.
Yes, but now a good deal of Eastern religions have to deal with reincarnation.
Now they can take their religion. I don't care. If you haven't figured something out, coming into this life and going through your little, grade school, and just if you haven't picked up stuff naturally on your own, and
well, we do. I think along the way, and the older you get, you kind of get more experiences in life naturally because you've been around a little longer than that. You do, but I think my feeling is that, okay, maybe when we leave this earth and enter the next one, or whatever it is that we do, then maybe I'm hoping that, oh gosh, now all of a sudden all these things will become clear. And all these questions.
No, they
all
won't.
this stuff,
They won't.
We know, now,
No.
okay, oh gosh, that's what it all meant, All those things
No.
I pondered for all those years, now I know what it means,
No, I don't think you're going to become all-knowing once you, because, the way I see
Well, I don't
it is
think you're
we
gonna
don't really die, we just transition.
I don't think you'll become a God, you're all knowing, but
I mean-
you'll, at least know some of this,
I don't think you're going to be all-knowing. I just don't think so. I think you're going to remember stuff. I think you'll end up, when you leave this body, I think you're going to end up remembering. Like, if I can remember fleeting moments of things that shouldn't make sense, like if I remember portions of a past life and even I'm psychologically fighting it, like, no, come on, no. And it's I think there's things missing. I think there's, we come here, somehow our memory gets screwed up. And, maybe when you're like really young, you're a child, you remember, oh yeah, like I had this past life, and there you got your 4-year-old talking about a past life, in such clarity. But then they grow up, they forget.
Now, you're familiar with walk-in souls?
Oh yeah,
You got to
the
talk
different variants.
You've got to talk to Linda Wilkes about the walk-in souls.
I'm not. I mean, if she's in the room, maybe I'll briefly talk or something. But do we have a question here? Oh, hey, how you doing, Sissy? I'm reading the Facebook stuff.
Oh, somebody has a question here on Facebook?
No, they're just saying hello.
Oh.
So, anyway, where were we? Sorry, distracted.
No, I just mentioned about the walk-in souls. Yeah.
Yeah, if something's walking in, and because there's different people talking about what a walk-in is. Okay, so the general gist of it is you're getting communication from something else, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then if that's the case, yeah, sure, I've been getting walk-ins all my life. Okay?
Okay.
But nothing's like taking over my soul. Nothing's overriding my muscles and all that kind of stuff. Now, I do believe, well, I shouldn't even say believe. I know that a lot of our thoughts are not our own thoughts.
True.
Which is a really difficult thing to teach and explain to people. So, I mean, sometimes I wonder why I should even bother explaining it. But it's a really fun aspect to it once you figure out, and that is part of the communication going on, too.
So our thoughts are not our own thoughts. They're thoughts that come from someone else and they're put into us?
Just like if I'm in the room, I'm picking up on your thoughts. Maybe I don't realize it at the moment, or you don't realize what you're doing to me. We're always picking up on everybody's thoughts all the time, which, by the way, you should be very mindful about what you're thinking if you don't like somebody.
Well,
isn't that
in a sense then something kind of entering you and walking into you? And,
no,
not really?
It's like a radio wave passing through your body.
Just more
that same wave as
so it's
passing
not
through
even
is
really
passing through me.
intuitive then either, or nothing? It's
Sure,
just,
it can be a form of intuition
Okay.
if you want to put it that
Yeah.
way. I mean, speaking really is just kind of primitive. Make the internet boring without speaking. But if you're just thinking, if you're not used to, like, if you had no practice with it, like, picking up on people's thoughts to me is like common. It's just common, and you ignore a lot of it too, especially when it's negative. You just
if you're able to pick up on people's thoughts and know
Sure.
what people are thinking, or at least know some of what they're thinking,
Right.
you're somewhat of a psychic then.
And I think, but everybody is psychic then.
To a degree.
Okay.
To a degree, but some people don't have it quite that good.
Which makes it really frustrating
Yeah,
for me,
or
because it's
developed,
like,
I
do I
should
even
say,
bother even having a conversation with that person? Like, do they even It's like, we were talking earlier about me, like, wanting to quit all this crap because
But isn't that something?
I want to help people figure
I'm
this
just going to
out.
say, isn't that something you share? I mean, if you're picking up on someone's thoughts in it, and you can maybe do something to maybe help them along, and that isn't something you would want
Here's
to
the
share
other
to them?
difficulty I have.
I don't understand why you
Precognition.
wanna
Here's
shut-
precognition. My precog was it still is a very big thing for me, and it's like, on one hand, maybe the future ain't set in stone. Maybe it ain't. Okay, but do I tell anybody about that crap? No, I don't. It's very rare.
So like a
girlfriends, stuff like that. If you live
predetermination?
with me long enough, you're going to start to figure some crap out.
Yeah.
But overall, the general picture is just shut your mouth. Here I am on a microphone talking about it, but generally, just shut your mouth. Like most people, I mean, even people who are other strong precognitive people, if I try having a conversation with them, it doesn't get very far. It's like they're in their own little world, and it's like this whole thing becomes like personal. Then, just shut your mouth. Be personal about it. Just don't, if you know, especially if you know somebody's going to die, don't you dare tell anybody. Just let them die.
Well,
don't interfere. First of all, who the hell are you to interfere if something was supposed to be? If that is the case, who the hell are you to interfere? So, be a little responsible about what you're picking up and just shut your mouth and go along with it.
Well, I think someone that is gifted in this and say is a good psychic or a good intuitive, someone that is, I don't think they would say things like that, dark things. I think what you want to do is you'd want to tell people positives, maybe things that are good, and
that's all. That's what all the people want. Yeah.
Well, no, not necessarily just sugarcoating it and give them what they want to hear, but I think it's something positive for their life. Say, for instance,
I used to do a little positive spin. Like if I knew somebody was going to die.
An extreme example here. Just say you're seeing something and you're going to tell somebody, well, within a year you're going to be dead. No, that would be a horrible thing, because then if you go, well, all right, I'm going to go and run my credit
I might
card
try
up,
to strike up some different kind of conversation,
and do what I want to
stimulate
do, and in
their...
a year I'm going to be gone anyway, so I'm going to live it up, Well, then now what if it doesn't happen, Well,
that's the funny part. When I pick up, it's like, you know what? It's going to happen no matter what. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And people are always looking for proof, too. And they want proof in life.
Definitely, sure.
When people like me, there's plenty of people like me. And so, like, even if you told them that if I said you were going to be walking outside, you're going to be hit by that car in 10 minutes, and it actually happened, and here I am speaking on the mic about it, you know what happened later on? They come up with, that was all a setup. It was all BS, and maybe you had somebody push them out there in front of the car. And, you know what I mean? Like,
I get what you're saying. So
this shit never ends. And so it just shut your mouth, let things be. Don't even bother telling anybody. If some people figure it out about you, that's fine. And maybe they learn. If they don't have the ability themselves, again, this is a personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't have the ability themselves, then the hell with them. I'm being real selfish, I guess, at this point.
I was going to say, but Pete,
isn't
it like just having like a gift and you're really not sharing it then? Or
why the hell would I want to share it? You know what happens when I share it sometimes? These selfish SOBs step in, and it just becomes so tarnished and ruined, and they're just like... Well, we talked about a few of these hairy characters.
Oh yeah.
It's like they're just ruining it. They're these fake psychics and these fake this and fake that.
All the more reason when you do have something that is legit, it should be brought in front of the public.
Yeah, and I there's stuff that I have brought on a wide scale, but I do it just like, hey, guess what happened today, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You just don't know the other 90% of what happened behind the scenes, kind of thing, and you get that wave of whatever. Yeah, totally fake. That's fine, and I can accept that to some degree. Some of it's pretty hardcore stuff. Like that can't be real. Come on, but it is. But then you get your people behind the scenes, and only a small portion start to like get it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, to where they know it's real. They get it, and then that larger portion is just kind of like the useless, ain't gonna learn anything, ain't ever gonna believe anyway crowd. Maybe that's probably why they're not going through anything, because they're just, I don't know. Boy, I'm really negative tonight. But
no, it's just just your feelings. But I suppose it's the same way as like that segment of the population that believes we never actually landed on the moon. We don't have proof. We don't have the definite proof to show that yes, we did
it's laughable.
Land on the moon.
It's laughable. No, I mean it's funny when you go and you look at it. Sometimes you can't blame them, because you look at some of NASA's material and you're like, oh, wait a minute. That roll of film does have some fake crap on it. Technically it had some mechanical fakery going on. But at the same time, you got some other stuff where no, that's legit. They got some stuff going on.
How do you feel about it? Let me just ask you.
So why did NASA throw in tainted material on top of this? And you start theorizing about things.
Well, see, to me, that ruins your whole credibility right there. When someone does something and they do throw some material in that's not true, I'm not going to believe anything else that they say.
Maybe we never would have made it to the moon. Maybe we didn't want to look stupid, so they came up with some fake crap. These kind of theories that people. I mean, I come up with that in my own head.
What do you feel?
Why would they do that?
Do you feel it was real, or was it staged?
I think we reached the moon. I think there are other people before us definitely reached the moon, and I think we've been up there for quite some time, and there's people training their cameras on the moon, and we're seeing fleets of craft coming in and out. You know, like it's hilarious
alone,
what's going on
sure,
out there. No, it's probably us, and then you got the U.S. Marines talking about crap about how it's us and the corporations on this planet playing their freaking games.
Oh
and,
yeah, it's everything. When you come down to it,
and yet we
everything's
still
about
got
money.
people today, like asking, did they land on the moon? And yet they got like this big industry going on out there.
Yeah,
and then when they hear that, they're like, "You got to be kidding! Industry, what?" Like, so, boy, you're going to get me on a different tangent here.
That's why I like you. Conversation kind of takes its course. It goes this way, goes that way. We never know what we're going to talk about. And that's why I like to do the show. I like to be very candid with it and open, and people speak what's on their mind. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot on my mind.
Yeah. Okay, I just want to talk about something that is your field of expertise, and that is indeed Bachelors Grove Cemetery.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the love of your life, Bachelors Grove. I'm surprised you don't have like a little house there and you just live there.
It'd be nice to have a little hut.
Yeah, because you just really like the Grove a lot.
Take a nap.
And that's something that you're very concerned about. And you've had experiences there, and not
I've
only
had
there, but everywhere.
more than my fair share.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So many that it's the point where when you come across people that have a lot of experience, you kind of look at them going, "Yeah, they're crazy. They lost their shit." Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's,
Why, just because you believe it's too much and they're exaggerating, or some of it's fabricated?
You got people out there that are just scraping the bottom of the barrel, trying to feel some sort of experience to some degree, and you got other people out there that are living it every day.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're living it every day, you got to be, you just got to be something wrong with that person.
Well, there's nothing wrong. So I think some people
There's
just
gotta be
maybe
something
more a
really,
little
really
in
off.
tune psychically than other people are, and maybe things just kind of happen more for them. Other people may have it on conditions. Something's right with the atmosphere, something's right with this or whatever, and then they have something that happens. So other people can almost call it.
Oh, there's a lot of variables
and
to
some
why
people may
we
never
go through what we go
experience it,
through.
Yeah,
Sure.
And then, of course, you have skeptics that they could see something happen right in front of their face, and they'll say, no, it's not true.
And I'm tired of that.
Yeah.
I mean, even some of the guys that I respect out there that really, they really go all out to know what real scientists are doing in the labs. And but at the same time, they have a really hard time with some of the stuff I say. You could just see it on their face.
Well, you're somewhat of a controversial person. You do like to. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you're somewhat of a controversial person. You're kind of known for that.
I don't think any amount of proof is going to help them.
You basically say what's on your mind when and you choose to say it, and you know.
No, I give them so-called physical evidence,
Mm-hmm.
and I give them a layout of the scenario, and they were actually involved in the scenario, and they don't even realize it.
I like the honesty like that.
Until later, they don't realize they were part of the scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And even that makes it hard for them to believe. Like, there's no way I was there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know you were there. You were reported to be there. You didn't hear this, did you, at the time? No. It's just like little crap over time. Like,
sure,
all these things that the public doesn't really know.
You
just
start
like
doing your homework
people.
and you start researching
and
things.
It's really
and you find
frustrating
out, as much as you're
deal
able
with
to,
this. They just...
Some things you do kind of run into a dead wall, but you can't take it any further. But some things you do kind of take a little further back, and you find more things about it, and you say, geez, wait a minute, there is some truth to this. I was like 100% on this. Now I'm a little skeptical of it myself. I'm not really sure if this person's being 100% honest with me. I don't know. So you find a little bit of that,
That's the other fun part. Like these days I do the YouTube crap, right? So it's hard to stay incognito. Now when I go to Bachelors Row, they recognize me, and I hate that. I didn't even like my own picture being on my website. But I had to do that so people knew who they were really talking to, because other people were pretending to be me. You've heard of that crap, right? So, but I like the old incognito days of just getting that raw feedback from the people.
So you like the feeling of anonymity, like nobody knows who you are? And
yeah, it was really nice. It was really nice to just sit back, have regular conversations with people, and just take in the atmosphere of what.
But then why do the YouTube videos? I mean, if you feel like you want to be anonymous, why do them and put them out there?
I actually felt like I had a responsibility. When I came back after being out of town, there was a lot in my mind, a lot that I was happy with, a lot that I was sad with when it came to the Grove, and there was a portion of me that said, because a friend of mine died, and I'm like, I'm not going to be here forever. And as crazy as my experiences are, I got to get used to this being out in the public, YouTube-y thing or whatever, and just start letting all this information out little by little. And then, because I think the stories that I have are very important to some degree for people that are serious about it. If you're just in it for entertainment and you're a tourist...
Why don't you start writing some of them down?
I have.
Okay.
I have. Just
write them down, but make them available for people to read.
I do. They're online.
Oh, where? Online?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I got to look
Sure.
then. I haven't seen any of your
Sure.
stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
I got to look. I know you have the YouTube videos. I've seen a few.
I mean,
of those,
I
and-
consider it
and some of your
some of it's like probably a small book.
Yeah, you ought to maybe compile a book or something.
No,
and get it out
no,
there
I
for
don't.
folks.
I don't care. Everything's free anyway. I don't do books, But I mean, just it's just like the Grove. That's my encyclopedia, the website.
Okay.
Hey, you're on your own. You want to make a book out of it? Fine. Just be real. Be truthful about it. But no, I do write some experiences, just some little things that were like little moments in my life. Well, not little, but like little turning points.
I think people are very
So-
much interested in that, and it may go beyond just a curiosity. If you write about these experiences, maybe someone out there reads this or whatever, and they say, I had the same thing happen to me. See, there is
Some
somebody
do.
like me.
And some do.
There is somebody else that does this, and then also
those I
it's
talk to in
inspiring
person.
somebody to maybe, pursue this a little further and check more into it. It's great. Anything that progresses human thoughts, Yeah. So when the paranormal field finally does become legitimate and it's credible,
It never will be.
You don't think it will?
No.
I think it will, because you know what? It wasn't all that long ago. I always like to use the example of chiropractors. It wasn't all that many years ago where chiropractors were thought of quacks.
Yeah. Well.
Now they're kind of recognizing it, and saying, yeah, there is something to it,
I don't know. I feel like there's probably plenty of people out there that are on the up and up and know a lot of crap, and they're going far with it. And I don't think most people are just. I think most people are just dumb. That's what I think. That's what I feel. I think most people they couldn't handle the idea that there's anything even outside this planet. There's nothing interdimensionally to them. They always think, oh, it's dead people.
Well,
on
some
their mind
people
all the
are
time.
very
That's
territorial,
pretty stupid
and they
to
live
me.
within the circles of their own walls, and they never really expand.
Yeah, they're
beyond
on
that.
their little bubbles.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I'm kind of burned out now. I guess I'm just kind of like, no, I don't really care. Like they're it's hopeless. I really feel like the field is hopeless, and the only people that matter are the ones that are actually going through anything and take it to their death. Then I guess take it to their deathbed. Whatever you got to do.
So then what happens to them?
Don't
Then,
bother
of
with the
course,
people that want to
then
be
they become an
entertained.
entity themselves, and they start walking around and telling people, or
My perspective on this, and this is coming from just what my experience has been.
Mm-hmm.
This is not our first rodeo.
Mm.
Okay, at least for me, I know this hasn't been my first rodeo here. And again, I told you I'll fight to the death, yeah, so to speak. I'm never going back to this planet. But we just keep moving on and on and on and on. However this works, okay? You're just forgetting a lot of stuff while you're here.
True.
And there's a lot of stuff that were triggered for me later on. Not just all my weird experiences, in life, but I mean, as I reached 40 freaking years old, I started having these really weird triggers of remembering stuff, and boy, I definitely. I mean, I didn't really fear death before, but man, I definitely, absolutely didn't fear death anymore after that. I'm like, it's a piece of cake.
What was it about it that made you want to fear death?
Fear death? Well, I mean, there's going to be your average person that's like. For me, it was I wasn't done yet. That kind of thing. I was going through the remembrance of the dying process, not the pain or anything like that. There's an actual visualization that happens while you're dying, and I was going through that process. And what would normally freak somebody out, like, what is this? To me, it was complete conviction of, I know what this is. Holy shit. No, I'm not ready yet. I'm not done yet. I got something. And it was really pathetic because I kept thinking about Bachelors Grove. I'm like, I'm not done. I got some things I got to do. Being real corny, I guess. But that's just the way it was for me. And no, it was a really awesome fractal world is what it was. Mm-hmm. Colors, it were so vibrant, so beautiful. Think of a kaleidoscope on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very beautiful atmosphere.
These are visions. And
this went on for about 5 minutes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, then after that happened, I started having all these flashes of what was me. And I kept denying it, but I was like, no, this is me.
Okay.
And I'm like, I would look, and I wouldn't have the hair in my arms and all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
So finally, what made you come to the realization of it?
Well, no, later on, I'm just kind of like
anymore now it is.
No, I'm just like, like you need that. People have all these stories, and no amount of stories you can do anything justice. You're being skeptical, whatever. You got to have your own experience. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You got to have your own experience. You can tell stories all day long.
A lot of good old-fashioned paper and pencil research goes into that too, because everything.
Screw
all
it.
these things start.
You got to live it. You got to live it.
And to go back and see where that story originated and see who was the original person that first
whatever.
brought this to light.
You wouldn't know what it feels like to sit in front of that microphone right now with those headphones on, unless you actually are sitting there in that chair in front of that microphone.
Yeah.
You can hear all stories about the radio stations all day long. Okay? No, you got to come to Earth, sit in that chair, put the headphones on, get in front of the mic to know what that's like.
But isn't it when people write and people tell things and people do radio shows to let people know about this and let people put these things out there and make people aware of it? And let them know.
My point was, what I was getting at was you have to go through the crap. You actually have to go. And if you have a complete, whether it's a false memory or not, to me, I mean, I will volunteer, okay, it could be false. But no, there's conviction there. There's memory. There's recall.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much involved. And it's just like, wow.
Well,
and that was the trigger point of, absolutely, even though I feared about like not wanting to leave just yet, at the same time it was like, it's a piece of cake. It's no big deal.
But you know how many people have said that? Like they said, they've gone through a horrible surgery or some sort of a horrible accident.
Oh yeah.
And they all have that same story about.
Not all of them, but there's a good portion.
But,
Yeah, I've run into a few.
Yeah,
a few.
And stories all kind of click,
And it is for them. It's that even though they've only had that one experience, it wasn't necessarily remembering a past life or a death or whatever, or remembering the process or something, but just leaving your body, let's say during surgery, there you go. You left your body, and your piece of flesh, your meat, is just sitting over there on the table.
Yeah.
Where's the real you? You are apparently the real you, at least to some degree. If that is what it is, the soul, whatever it is, that the more alive you, the more aware you is sitting there floating around the room, looking at your flesh on the table by the doctor. So it's not a big deal, folks. It's like, whatever. Like, don't be afraid. Don't be. It's like
absolutely not. Don't be afraid of this stuff. No.
But then again, telling them don't be afraid is just like giving them another story.
Exercise their psychic abilities and stuff a little more than they do. Some people have it. They're kind of like, oh, well, it's just coincidental. It's this, it's that, it's the other, and they're really not taking it to the next level and saying, yeah, there is something a little more to it for me.
Little by little, you can identify.
It's just too much to say it's coincidence.
Well, yeah, there's too much going on sometimes. No, there's no. It's. Wow, we passed 45 minutes of this already.
Isn't that wild? Yeah, pretty good. Yeah.
Who else is here? Gabriella, hello.
Oh, somebody else is on your little thing there?
Yeah, there's just, little spurts going on, just saying hello. But they probably can't really hear us because I don't have the mics patched in. So,
that's all right. Next time we'll figure it out and we'll do it that way, and then we can get some responses to the conversation.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
And get other people's inputs in it, which is great.
Yeah, it's like one of those monitors you got on the ground, put on the table, and just
it's nice to hear other people's opinions and things. I love listening to what everybody has to say about it. And
it'd be nice to get live feedback like that.
Sometimes there isn't a right or there isn't a wrong. It's just nice to listen to it and Yeah.
Can they hear that music in the background? It's
normally
that's louder than usual. So I like it. I don't know if you can hear it.
Your music. John is playing music in the background.
Oh yeah, it's like twice as loud as it usually is.
The other radio station on the air.
But can they hear it through the mics here that we're doing? No. Okay. Because we can hear it pretty good over here where we're sitting.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm just wondering if they can hear this music and they'll say, "Gee, what's all that going on in the background while you guys are talking?"
I probably should have said something earlier. But.
I thought about it too, but then you finally brought it up. Yeah. Well, see, there again. That's why I say it's good to bring things
maybe
up.
I'll be more positive later. I know I'm in a mood tonight.
No, I think we're both. I'm actually a little dozing myself here too.
I noticed you were kind of getting a little.
The eyes are getting heavy. Yeah, and it's not that the conversation is boring or I'm not interested. It's just I'm just extremely tired.
You should have a slapping intermission.
Cold water splash.
Right. Well, that's barehanded, man.
Wake up. Yeah, it's just been one of those, weeks and that kind of thing like that. And there's a lot of things coming up too, and that, just busy stuff, which is nice. It's good stuff, but sometimes it gets a little tiring. That's why sometimes it's good to take a break from this and kind of rejuvenate your soul and say, wait a minute, I got to take a break from this.
Well, I have been kind of taking a break.
I'll do that when I'm doing a lot of research on a subject, like if I'm researching cemeteries or a subject or something like that. I see myself spending a lot of time in a cemetery and a lot of times looking at headstones, a lot of times going through records, a lot of times going in their offices and looking through things in that. And sometimes I say, okay, it's getting to me a little too much. This isn't my full-time job, Bob. You're retired. You can take a break from this. You don't have to do it all today. You can do it tomorrow. You can do it the next week. I take a little break. Take a little breather.
Yeah.
I'll work on some other program on something else which has nothing to do with the paranormal, or I'll just stop altogether and take a little break and, go and sit and listen to reruns of All in the Family or something and, just take a complete break from it. Yeah, you know.
Well, you're not a computer guy, so a little Netflix going on.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. No, I don't do too much computer stuff. I don't have cable. Yeah, I get that one all the time. People always ask me about the different ghost hunter shows and different things that are. Cause there's a lot of stuff out there, apparently.
And I am proud to say I don't watch those shows.
No, I don't watch them either. And I tell people I have nothing against them, but I have a very good reason for not watching them. I don't have cable, so I don't have the the means to look at them. So that's why I don't.
Luckily, I don't have to watch them to be. I just go through my daily
Go through
life.
your own experiences.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's why I look at it.
And,
Same thing too, like with the haunted house and stuff. Like people say, "Oh, when you go through those, do you get scared?" And I say, "Well, yeah, there's an element." Now I'm talking about those fake haunted houses like we have now. Where they're all dressed up and they're scared. And I says, "Yeah,
this could be fun."
And they are.
Whatever.
They are. And like I said, it's a nice element of surprise. But I says, I've gone through so many of the real things in it that this stuff really doesn't faze me. It's really not. Oh,
I get excited about it. It doesn't faze me in the sense where I'm just like going to lose my freaking mind over it. But I mean, I'm very excited when things do happen.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And especially when you can have two-way communication with what you're doing and actually get other people involved, which is what I've secretly been doing for many years. Mm-hmm. And I enjoy the game. And if there's anybody listening to this program, maybe you're going to start to piece together what the hell's going on.
Understand what he's talking about.
Yeah. Let's see here. What's Steven saying? What is the question of mystery? Like answered or revealed. What is one question or mystery that Pete would like answered or revealed to him about the Grove?
Okay, good question.
Interesting, Steven. Wow, because that's part of the game I've been playing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I cannot wait to fully disclose it one day. It's been badass.
What I would like
time.
to know is why is it such a hotbed like it is of all this psychic and paranormal activity? Why this little section? Why that? Of everything else, I mean, there are other.
And those
places,
are extremely good questions.
But why this? What is it about this that makes it so?
I can only go on my own personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, okay. To give a different perspective on this. Most people would just give a blanketed, it's because, the cemetery was damaged and no.
Indian burial grounds, some way cursed, a vortex, all sorts of, who knows?
Right, there's a lot of things to say about
of everything, who knows?
And all I can do, however I can approach this is from really a personal level.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've done my investigating, I've done my studying, do my profiling, figuring out this, that, and the other thing. But when you start having direct communication with something of an intelligence that's helping to facilitate your interaction, not just with them, but with other beings in literally other worlds that are just like side by side with our world, and to have these crazy, wild experiences that's like made for something fabulous on TV, and it's like...
What I want you to do, Pete, is I want you to go home and I want you to write a nice big letter.
Yeah.
Write all these things in it, and put it all in an envelope. And I want you to address the envelope.
I've already been putting. I've been leaving breadcrumbs. I've been leaving a lot of breadcrumbs.
Put stamps on it and everything. And then in case something happens to you before me,
I don't even bother with that anymore.
Chances are I'll be departing before you because I'm much older than you. But just in case, I'd like this letter to come to me, and then I'll say, now I know what he's doing and what it was all about.
No, people are going to be able to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's already breadcrumbs. There's already stuff ready to be released on that moment of, hopefully I'll get hit by a car tomorrow.
Oh, my gosh.
But it's like, when I know that I can grab my phone right away, hit publish, and then die on the street corner, that's fine.
Bing,
and that's how weird I am. Like, I have this real passion about it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I have things preloaded and ready to release if needed in that moment. You know what I mean? Or maybe there's a moment of disbelief and it actually means something. It's worth saying, okay, you didn't see this behind the scenes, but take a look at this, and I can't change the date of it and watch this video. Like, wait, what? Like, it all makes sense when you put the puzzle together, kind of thing, if needed, kind of thing. So I do have things ready to go, but I still will continue my game. And those listening to this broadcast, and you start to figure out my game, keep it to yourself. Try it out for yourself. Maybe it's going on with you and you don't realize it just yet, just like I didn't realize it at the moment 20-something years ago.
See, that's why I say these things are beneficial for that reason, because like you say, there's other people out there that hear this, and if it reaches one or two people, it's well worth it,
That's the way I used to think.
Many people are out there, and if you
I've reached a lot more than one or two.
Oh, yeah.
And usually it's my one-on-ones, face-to-face,
Many people
alone.
out there, they feel like I'm the only one that has this happen. I don't know of anybody else that does. And then you hear something.
There
like
are
this, say,
people that do
people,
share in a lot of different kinds of experiences. There are some extremely severe ones that, at least that I've gone through on certain levels, that others have not yet. But I feel it's a little bit more complicated than just having a simple experience. I think it's, again, one of these personal things. So there's just a lot of personal stuff going on out there. Bachelors Grove is more of a training ground. It was picked, okay? Stuff that was going on there prior, that's one thing. Stuff that's going on there today is another thing, okay? And I think that's going to be very hard for people to separate, okay? They're going to, because you're trying to piece together a mystery when there's so many layers to the mystery that today's mystery might not have any real connection to the past mystery, okay? You understand where I'm going with this?
Don't you kind of have to understand the past to know where you are today?
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, let's say there's...
Yeah.
No, like, let's say blue ghost lights out there.
Yeah.
You're not seeing them today, per se.
No,
even
and
if
you know
people
what?
claim they are,
Yes, and
it
a lot
is
of-
not
lot of
12
things-
inches of blue light that's standing there letting you put your hand through it,
Yep.
or chasing you down the
Many
path.
things that have happened. I agree with you on this, and I think this is what you're talking about. Correct me if I'm wrong. But, for instance, people seeing a certain apparition that has been known to be appearing out there.
Yeah, they claim that a certain apparition...
And then all of a sudden now people have not seen it for a number of years or whatever like this. Okay, maybe that's something in the past, but now something else is happening.
Well, here's the
Or
interesting
something
thing.
else,
There's ones where there were fake apparitions, and
Oh,
now
yeah.
people are thinking they are seeing the fake apparitions.
Because you know what? Someone
Okay.
planted in their head. And the thing
Well, is it? Is it? Because there are moments where the fake stuff becomes reality and they're able to film it. So you have to understand that the consciousness level, you wonder if you get enough people together. This was part of my piecing together a mystery. You get enough people together thinking the same thing, especially on a worldwide basis. They're reading the books, they're listening to the TV shows, and they're thinking about Bachelors Grove, Bachelors Grove, Bachelors Grove. And let's say they took one thing that's not real, you get enough people to think it together, and you could probably manifest it in your physical environment.
so you're capable
Okay.
of conjuring it up yourself.
You have to be careful with that aspect. And that's an interesting thing to play with and to study if it is happening, okay, that kind of thing. Okay, so it's like there's so much
Okay,
to
what do you
this.
think
Just-
about one, say, group that takes, for instance, a famous photo of something
Sure.
that's out there? They take a famous photo and they say, "Nope, the photo's a fake. That's not a real thing."
We've never
And- and
had
then-
another incident of it.
And then they take it and they do something with it and they use the photo and they say, "Oh wait, we got a real one here now," and then they're proved to be a fake. So it's like you're saying it's a fake, but then using
Well, I think you should keep
using
those
what you're
people in the
saying is
nuts
fake
if they're faking it, for
yeah,
starters,
and some.
We don't need that crap.
No, and this takes the focus away from the things that are real and things legitimate, and that's part of the problem why people laugh at a lot of this.
Yeah.
People say, people that aren't
Absolutely.
into this and don't experience themselves and aren't serious about it, they look and they say, "You guys are a bunch of nuts."
Yeah.
Look at this. Look what you're doing. You guys are using your own fake stuff, and yeah.
And
It just
in the real world,
it's not
pass
the
them
way.
by.
It's not the way to try to lend some
Maybe
credit to this.
the stuff
and-
that goes on at Bachelors Grove, even though there's a lot of personal stuff,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you're not worth being interacted with because you're a jerk. Let's be honest to me. It's like,
so do you
if
think
that's
these
what's
things
going
happen
on,
just to certain people, or is it?
I think that there's certain people that could spend a whole lot of time there and have nothing happen.
Mm-hmm.
And when I get to know those personalities, you have to step back sometimes and go, well, they are an asshole. I mean, really, it's like that could, probably play a big role. Like, maybe they just don't like you. Maybe they don't want to bother with
Who's
you.
the ideal?
That kind of
but
attitude
who
goes
then is
in
the
me.
ideal person? Is it the person, say, for instance, that's
I think that I mean, if
is the person that say is just out there and say, "Well, I'm here not to look for fame and fortune. I'm here not to use."
I find
a
the
book
people that
and to make a
are
film
really
and
neutral-
this kind of stuff, and I'm just there to see if there's something I do experience, just out of a curiosity, and if I do, I do. If not, okay, nothing happened to me. Maybe it just wasn't the right day for me. Or is it the person that's really aggressively looking for the
if
evidence?
they're aggressively looking
You know?
for it, typically they're not going to find it.
I think so too. I think kind of
That's-
things just
that's my
happen.
experience
I think things
with
kind of
these
happen when
people,
they're ready
like,
to happen, not by you.
If they're literally,
to
some of them
influence it, yeah.
actually are in tears.
But then
of
by
not
the same
having
token,
an
you said if enough
experience.
people think it, they can bring it to
Well,
reality.
I'm
so-
talking about something on a whole
Okay.
different level.
Okay.
If you can, because you can physically affect your environment.
Mhm.
It's like you can make the can on the table tip over.
Well,
And
yeah.
yet you'll think that ghostly grandma in the house did it because she died 2 years ago.
And it's also a good thing about seeing psychics and going to see somebody, and they're telling you things, and they predict something to you, and this is going to happen to you, and that kind of thing. It's same thing. It's a mind over matter. You have a way of kind of making it happen, and saying, yeah, that prediction came true. So that's why.
Well, again, just shut up with the prediction stuff. No, really, just shut up with the prediction stuff. I'm tired of that crap.
Yeah.
Like either you got the gift on your own, or you don't.
What I say, the same thing.
No offense. I know you do the palm reading. I mean, screw them. Like, don't even give them a fortune.
No. Yeah.
If you're picking up on stuff and telling them, I wouldn't even do it.
No, I don't. I don't like to predict.
I had a friend when I was, what was I? I was like 19. I think it was 19 or 20, and I was just having fun. I had a tarot deck, but it was all personal. I'm like, oh, what's up with these cards? I mean, it's all about the cards, and it's not about the cards. It's about the person.
Tarot can be a little dark. That's why I don't like to fool around with tarot.
But the point was, like, I had a buddy who was noticing that I was going through weird stuff, and I know he was going through weird stuff, but he was having a hard time dealing with it in his life, and he didn't want to face the idea that maybe he was the one causing these things physically in his environment. And so one day he knew I had these cards, and I gave him a little reading thing, and he just kind of like jaw drop kind of thing. So he brought a guy over, because he's just still not believing it, and he thought this guy was going to be able to show that he's going to show Pete Pete doesn't know what he's doing or something.
Oh yeah,
I gave this reading. Nothing made sense, but the guy across the table wanted to basically punch me and punch the other guy. I'm like, what is going on around here? Well, he's convinced that I told you this and this and that, and I'm like, well, what did I say in the reading? And he's like, you spilled everything out that was happening to him that week. I'm like, okay. All right. I'm like, and I told you I don't like to do this for anybody. I'm not going to do this for anybody. And that was
sometimes I run into this. And sometimes, too, I run into something, and I can see people's expressions, and they're thinking, like, gee, you're just way off center here. I don't know what you're talking about. And I says, you know what? Some of this may not make some sense to you now, but down the line.
Oh, a lot of it never makes sense to me when it's coming
down
to
the
me
line,
at
I
first.
think it will. Down the line, I think this is going to 2 and 2 is going to add up to 4.
You mean for the person you're telling?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well. Yeah. It ain't even worth my time. And that's, I'm not interested in making money. I hate money.
Yeah.
I hate the concept of what money here is like. It's like just
all the trouble and all the problems seems to center around money.
I don't need the all the questions. I don't need all the. I hate entertaining. You know what I mean? I hate a lot of aspects of just. I like to learn. I like to enjoy. I like to experience. But it's like at the same time, I don't need to deal with people's doubts and ridicule and all this.
No, but then again,
junk.
though, Pete, if you take time though to put stuff out on YouTube, and you take some time to put it out there,
I will throw breadcrumbs out now, and I will do whatever I got to do.
Is that not entertaining also too? And people,
no, for people that can be a form of entertainment, but that's not why I do it. And if I wanted to entertain, I would have just outright fully released what I've been doing, what's been going on with me all these years.
Yeah,
right?
but you know what I'm saying. Like if you put things out there like that,
there's more important things. Yeah. I'm not going to just spill my guts because somebody wants I got to know what's going on, and be entertained. No. And who's to say I'm doing this all for my own personal reasons anyway? No. Who's to say something else isn't pushing me?
That's what I'm saying. If you're doing it in a way to educate people and to maybe spark an interest in them, and maybe they see, oh, gee, this guy is like me.
I sit back and I watch that. I watch how some people get to go through something, and it helps me understand. At least I think I understand what type of personality, what kind of person it takes to start having those experiences. And it's like these little clues. For me, it's a learning experience for me as well. Yeah. Like, okay, maybe that's why they're having that interaction, because of this, that, and the other thing.
See, that's why I see too, like with tours. There are so many these people doing tours out there and everything, and I do them myself. I don't do many of them, but I do them. And you take them around to the haunted locations and things like that. Well, many people, this is their first little experience with it. They've never had, and so all right, if this gets them started and gets them inquisitive, and they want to go back to these locations, and
but
maybe
why didn't they do it on their own?
Well, because maybe they just didn't know where to go, or maybe they just didn't.
Oh,
feel
really? With the internet,
or maybe they didn't feel. Well, the world has gotten a lot smaller.
Are they that
with the
lazy?
Internet. No,
this is how negative I am about it.
Being lazy.
I started looking at these people that want tours. I'm like, what are you really that lazy?
But sometimes they feel better maybe going with a group, or maybe going with other friends and that kind of thing like that. And
maybe that's why the paranormal tours in Chicago are popular now. With the
let's go
on a beer fest run and go see something haunted.
Well, that's a little different. That's strictly entertainment.
It's a freaking joke.
But, I know that stuff. But but nonetheless, if somebody does get an interest in it through something like this, okay, that's fine. Maybe you have 40 people or 50 people going on a bus with this, and out of that, maybe if 5 or 6 of them have an interest.
I do
in
my
it,
dedicated thing. I do my growth thing, and that makes me happy. I got my reasons for doing what I'm doing with that, and if people can catch on, and if they can learn something over time, because I happen to be there to have a conversation, that's great. and when they have their experiences and they report back, they're part of that collective, and that's great. I have fun, But sorry, I'll never really give tours. I'll never. Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm not gonna like.
That's 100% honesty, and that's the way you feel about it, and that's great.
Yeah, I just you want a tour? Here, I made you a map online. It's got over what? It's got hundreds of points of interest. Yeah, grab your phone, go give yourself a tour, walk around whatever you got to do. It's like
like I say, some people maybe go on something like this, and I know for me sometimes these things inspired me. You see something different. You see something.
No, I mean we get inspired. We get over little things all the time. Sure. I mean,
even
I guess my journey is not
even watching a TV show. One of these things they see on there, and they say, okay, this is something I'd like to pursue maybe a little further. I'd like to study this and take it a little more seriously. So, okay, fine. Maybe the show is hokey or whatever like that, but nonetheless, it sparked an interest in them. It sparked a curiosity, and maybe now this leads them into,
and I hope it goes somewhere.
So I think they have a purpose,
But I'm so jaded these days. Like, it took a show to get you interested.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm being jaded because I know what got me interested.
But you know how many people that are older?
I got to go through an experience.
But you know how many people older, like maybe my age and older, people in their 60s, people in their 70s, that got interested in the paranormal and said, you know what, one of the big influences that got me interested in the paranormal? When I was a kid, there was a show called The Outer Limits, or there was a show called Thriller-Rama, or there was a show called The Twilight Zone. And, of course, now those were TV shows. But that sparked their interest in the paranormal. That sparked their interest in...
I just feel sorry.
In that pursuit.
I feel sorry that's what it took to spark their interest, though.
Well...
Like, why can't other people just, go through their own thing? I guess life has its reasons. Maybe there is no reason. Maybe there is no purpose. Probably is.
Well, as usual, Pete... It's always a pleasure having you come on here. I like you. I like your candid approach to things. You say what's on your mind, and that's great. And I admire that with you a lot. That's why you're welcome to come back anytime you want to. Anytime, if you look on Facebook or whatever, and I announce when I'm doing a show or that, and you want to just drop in, just drop in. Yeah, you're welcome to come on here anytime you'd like to.
I'll try to rig you up so you have better
streaming we'll do
audio
that,
instead of just testing the phone and say, hello, folks. But
So thank you very much, Pete, again, for your honesty. It's about 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I think we both need to go home and get some sleep because we both
look like
you're
we've
falling
had asleep. And
we both look like we've had it. Yeah.
I'm tired too.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Pete. It's a pleasure as usual, as always.
Thank you. It is fun.
Yeah. What are you drinking? What is that?
It's some sort of Mexican thing.
Is that your energy drink or what is that?
No, it's just got berries in it. I'm sure it's extremely unhealthy.
Oh, okay. Well, what the heck? Once in a while won't hurt, but just don't have a steady diet of it.
Strawberry banana.
Okay, John, take us away.
You have been listening to Paranormal Radio with Bob Tricek from the John DeVito Broadcast Center on the Windy City Hometown Entertainment Network. Paranormal Radio was directed by John DeVito, and our special thanks to the executive producer of Windy City Hometown Entertainment Network, Mr. John Shikanda. This broadcast was pre-recorded on Monday, October the 7th, the year 2019. Until next time, friends, please be safe and thanks for listening.